Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Rob. So I got another build for you guys today. This is going to be a Hammer the Ancients and Whirlwind kind of combination build. I really like this build a lot because it's a nice combination of a heavy hitting build while still maintaining your mobility aspect of a Whirlwind build. So this is a really nice, really unique build that I think works really well and trying to farm efficiently while still hitting hard. I'm going to be just showing you guys the skills and ruins for this build and a little bit of an explanation as to why I like the ones I'm using. Now, a lot of this is just personal preference and opinion, so you can switch it as you feel needed. But I just play how I like, and I do what I like and do what works for me. So we'll go ahead and jump right into this and show you guys what I've been doing lately. Now, this is still relatively new to me, so bear with me here. My first skill is Hammer the Ancients. I'm using the Smash Ruin with that. Basically, what this is going to do is it's going to increase your crit damage and the damage of it from 325% to 406%. And for every 5 Fury you have, it increases the crit chance of this ability by 1%. Now, this build is going to focus a lot on Fury generation and crit chance, so that's going to come into play later. The next skill is Whirlwind and Hurricane. It's exactly what it sounds like. Hurricane's going to let you move at your full movement speed while you're using Whirlwind, whereas if you don't have it, you're going to move at a reduced rate, which really sucks. So the next skill is Sprint with Run Like the Wind. This is going to basically just be a hard movement speed increase by 40% for 3 seconds, and Run Like the Wind is going to drop tornadoes behind you, which deal 60% weapon damage for 3 seconds. So anybody that steps into them is going to get hit by those, and it's going to deal extra damage, generate extra fury by critting. That also will come into play with the next ability. You'll see what I mean when I go over this. The next one is Battle Rage, which is just a crit chance and crit damage increase by 3% and 15% for 2 minutes or 120 seconds. I'm using the Into the Fray rune, which makes it to where your crit hits have a chance to generate 15 additional fury. So as you are critting more with your Hammer of the Ancients, your Whirlwind, and your tornadoes from your Sprint, you're going to be having a chance to generate 15 additional fury, which is really nice. These things all are pretty high critting abilities because this is going to be ticking a lot. You're going to be whirlwinding and hitting a lot of people with this, and the more fury you have, the higher crit chance you're going to have with your hammer. So you're going to be wanting to focus on generating high fury and having high crit, so it all plays in really well together to generate as much fury as you can, which will play into the last skill, which you will see. The next ability I'm using is Rend with Bloodlust. It basically is just an AoE 360 damage that does 700% weapon damage over 5 seconds. It's a dot. It ticks over 5 seconds. I'm using Bloodlust, which basically gives you 9% damage back as life, so it's essentially a life steal. As this attack is ticking, it also has obviously a chance to crit, and every time it crits, it has a chance to generate additional fury with your Into the Fray Battle Rage Ruin. So all these skills all play really well together with the Battle Rage Into the Fray, because the more they crit, the more fury you're generating, and the more fury you're generating, the longer you can maintain the last skill, Wrath the Berserker. That's basically a big cooldown skill that takes 120 seconds to come off a cooldown, transforming you into the Berserker form, which increases your crit chance, attack speed, dodge chance, and movement speed. I'm using the Thrive on Chaos ability, which is probably the most beneficial in my opinion because of all those other skills. The more fury you generate, the longer you're going to be able to maintain this ability. So every 25 fury you gain while in Wrath of Berserker adds 1 second to the duration of the effect. So that's why all these play really well together. The more fury you have, the more crit you have, the more fury you're going to generate, and the longer you can maintain your big cooldown spell, or skill rather. So that's why all these things are really important to focus on your fury generation and your crit chance. The higher your crit chance, the more fury you're going to generate. The more fury you generate, the longer you can maintain your Wrath of Berserker. Which realistically, if you're generating enough fury, you can maintain your Wrath of Berserker forever, as long as you have stuff to hit, obviously. Now, as you can see, I am not using any fury generating primary attack. Both these are secondary attacks, which are basically fury spenders. But that's kind of a good thing, because actually at a certain gear point, you're going to be generating more fury than you can actually use. So you're basically going to want to be spamming your skills as fast as possible to use fury, so you have the room to generate more. That way you can maintain your Wrath of Berserker. Because if you're at full fury, you're not going to be generating any extra time on this skill. So when you're at full fury, you can just sit there and spam your Hammer of the Ancients, Whirlwind, and Sprint, and Battle Rage, and just rend everything down and spend as much of your fury as possible. That way you can maintain your Wrath of Berserker for as long as possible. Now, the problem is you're not going to have a fury generating melee attack to get started with. So when you're attacking with 0 fury, when you have no fury, you're going to be just plain melee attacking until you have enough fury to hit your battle rage and start spamming your Whirlwind, Rend, and Hammer the Ancients. So it takes a little bit of momentum to get going, but once you get going, it's really, really easy to keep moving. This is a very efficient, very fast build that's really good for farming and still it's really good for efficient farming, but still being able to hit really hard because of your Hammer of the Ancients. It's a really hard-hitting skill. I'm going to move into my passives. My first one is Bloodthirst. Basically gives you 3% lifesteal, which is really awesome. This and your Bloodlust from Rend are really nice because it'll basically eliminate your need to have lifesteal in your gear. So that's going to save you a lot of money when it comes to buying gear. You're really not going to have to worry about lifesteal in your weapons or your belt or life on hit on your rings or necklace, which most people use lifesteal nowadays anyways, though. So this and this go together really well. It will save you a lot of money not having to worry about that. Just having it as a skill is really OP or overpowered. It's really nice for barbarians. A lot of people don't like that barbarians have such ease of access to gain lifesteal just like that off of a skill. Anyways, the next one I'm using is Ruthless. This is going to basically give you 5% crit chance and 50% crit damage, hard DPS increase. Also, the extra crit chance will make it to where you generate more fury, obviously. So this is going to be really good for extra DPS and extra fury generation. The next skill I'm using is Weapon Master, which is going to give you a different bonus depending on what weapon you're using. It's 4 different categories. I'm benefiting from the Maces and Axes category, which gives me 10% crit hit chance increase, which also more DPS and more fury generation. As you can see, all these skills basically focus around fury generation, crit chance, and maintaining your Wrath of Berserker. So these two pair really well with the rest of the skills. It all complements each other very well. It all plays in together to basically maintain efficiency and speed of farming while still being able to move very fast and still hit very hard. This is a very survivable build, and it's a very efficient build too. But it's just a little bit difficult to get started when you have 0 fury, so you have to be careful at the very beginning as you're generating your first little bit of a fury. But once you get going, you're borderline unstoppable. I really, really like this build. This is probably one of my favorite builds that I've ever played, to be honest with you. This basically is one of the most well-rounded builds that I've used, and it basically has everything you need in it. So that's why I've really stuck with this. I don't think I'm going to be changing to anything else anytime soon, honestly. This is one of the best builds I've had in a long time. I definitely suggest you guys go out and try this. I'll be showing you guys some gameplay video that's later on down the road with the next video, so we'll check that out on our next video. So if you guys have any comments or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Give me a like on this video. Check out the information. I'm going to have a link to my Facebook. You guys will get updates over there before videos are out, and you'll get a little more ease of communication with me over there, being as how I get messages on a much smaller scale. So if you want to go over there, check that out. Let me just go over there. Click like on Facebook. If you really like, I'd really appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my videos. Anything's appreciated. Criticism, comments, questions in the comment section below. Let me know. I think that's about all I've got for today. Like I said, next video will be gameplay of this. If you guys want to see the gameplay, check out my next video, which should be out in the next couple of days. So, yep, I am going to go and stop rambling. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a great day.